Merrimack Street. This would be for 1/2 hour prior to the performance and during an intermission. The dates are, there are 19 dates in total, starting with February the 7th, and it'll run through February 29th, including March 1st, 2nd, 2008. Joe Bew of Heinz's Tavern for Sunday, March the 9th, 2008, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The event is the Heinz's Road Race. It's a beer concession in the parking lot of the Heinz's Tavern at 467 Gorham Street. Also, William D. Moreau for Friday, May 16, 2008, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The event is a fundraiser for the Lowell Canal Waters Cleaners at the Revolving Museum at 22 Shattuck Street.
All right, please approach the microphone and introduce yourselves.
I'm Erin Friedrich from Merrimack Repertory Theater.
All right. Sir?
Joe Bew from Heinz Tavern.
All right. Do we have anybody here from the Lowell Canal Waters Cleaners?
Bill Moreau.
All right. Now, how many of you have actually held one-day licenses before? Well, I know you have. But have either of you two held them? No. All right. Do you understand that a license is granted in your name, not the name of your organization, not the name of the business, but your individual name, which means that the individual liability starts to attach with that. All right, so you're under a lot of expectations for how you're supposed to operate the business, what you're supposed to do, who you can and can't serve, carding. It's all on your shoulders. Okay. If there's a violation, it comes back on you, not back on the organization. So when that license is issued, it's a very serious responsibility. I know that normally there's a longer speech that goes with this, but I'd ask if you understand and if you had the opportunity to speak with anybody who's held one of these in the past. Have either of you? Well, I know the Repertory Theater has. Have you ever worked with anybody who's held one? All right. You're responsible for carding people. You're responsible for making sure nobody's taking the drinks off the premises, that nobody's drinking underage, that no illegal activity is going on where you're serving alcohol. You understand all that? Okay. Do you think that's something you can handle? All right. Do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
All right. Look, I'd like to thank all of you for what you do for the city when you're running these events. It's good for the city of Lowell. So I wish you all the best of luck. And with that, I'll make a motion to grant the license.
Motion seconded.
All right. All in favor, say yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Commission will now take up the matter of applications for special events permits for amplified outdoor public entertainment, starting with the Corporation Ocean Bridge Corporation. Joe Bew, President, for amplification permit for band, recorded music, loudspeaker system, sound equipment for the Heinz's Road Race, Sunday, March 9th, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The area which the permit would apply would be the parking lot of Heinz's Tavern at 465 Gorham Street. LGH, the Lowell General Hospital Development Department, Debin McFadden is the representative for amplification permit for disc jockey sound system for the LGH Walkathon, Sunday, May 18th, 2008, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The area which the permit would apply is an open space behind the Songus Arena, adjacent to the Riverwalk Trail.
And just for the records, please identify yourself.
Joe Bew, Heinz Tavern.
Hi, I'm Kathy Lantang from Lowell General Hospital.
Do you have any questions on? Okay.
No question.
The hours seem reasonable. You understand you have neighbors. All right, again, I think these are wonderful events. I know my partner back in his younger days used to actually run in the Heinz Tavern Road Race. So, again, I say in his younger days. But no, I think it's a wonderful event. Just please, be considerate of your neighbors. Does the police department have anything they want to? No. Okay. With that, I'll make the motion to go ahead and grant these.
Seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be mailing out permits and licenses in the near future.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And 1 to 6.
Yeah.
Commission will now take up the application for a change of manager for the Polish American Veterans of Lowell, Inc., the all-alcoholic beverage club licensee at 201 Coburn Street. Change would be from Alexander Jandenko to Paul Kozalski of Dracut. Mr. Kozalski had served as manager of record in the past.
For the record, please introduce yourself.
Paulie Kozalski, Commander of the Polish American Veterans Incorporated, Lowell.
All right, now you've held this in the past?
For 17 years before this.
17 years?
Before this.
Okay. Now, you've held it for 17 years, or it was 17 years ago that you held it?
I've held it for 17 years.
Okay.
I think after 17 years, you have a pretty good understanding of what the responsibility of the manager is, Mr.
Yes, I do.
All right.
And have there been any problems before?
Not during my shift.
All right. Anything from the
No,
police
nothing.
department?
No, everything's all set.
All right. Understanding, of course, that if I'm gonna make the motion to approve the transfer, but it's still got to go to Boston for approval. So, with that, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Again, it's still got to go to Boston. So, but you'll get our endorsement.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. Now the board will take up the matter of an application by the LLC All of That and More, Matthew R. Mason, manager, the malt beverage and wine restaurant licensee for premises at 167 Market Street, applying for an entertainment license in a restaurant for live music, disc jockey, and jukebox, 2008.
Hi, I'm Matthew Mason from All of That and More.
All right. You guys are looking to change up a little bit for more nightlife?
Yeah,
What kind of-
we've been doing some acoustic entertainment for the past probably 6-8 months. Starting to get a little bit busier during some weekend type stuff, so every once in a while it would be nice to probably get like a small amp in there just so haven't had any problems with the neighbors, so I figure as long as we can kind of keep it, copacetic with the neighbors, then every once in a while we might need some small amplification. So that's why I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's, so to speak.
All right. I mean, again, like you understand, you've got neighbors.
Yep.
But I also know that Market Street's a, great area for the nighttime. It's a great crowd draw. So that's, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Okay.
Again, with that, do you have any?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks.
Mr. Mason, I'll have a license for you tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you. Commission will now open the hearing on an allegation of misconduct as charged by Kenneth LaValle, the Superintendent of Police, dated January 7, 2008, against the LLC WKA Investments, doing business as the Brewery Exchange. Vincent P. Formini is the manager of record. It's an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 201, 205 Cabot Street.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Mr. Nguyen, Deputy Superintendent Demore. My name is Attorney Michael Zame, and I represent the WKA Investments, which is more commonly known to you folks as the Brewery Exchange Club. Mr. Vincent Fermani, who's the manager of record of the establishment, is here today. As you are well aware, the Lowell Police Department in its ongoing operations to check and make sure the bartenders and the waitresses in the establishments throughout the city are doing their job, conducting these underage compliance checks of the various locations. Back in December, they did one such operation one evening where the operative entered into the brewery and was, the brewery failed the underage compliance check. Regrettably, they failed. They apologized for their error. I've had an opportunity over the past week to speak with the Deputy Superintendent DeMora to find out what his take, and I believe that his take on the brewery is they do run a fine operation. Are always willing to cooperate, always willing to work with the Lowell Police Department, and I'll present some evidence of how they have done that in the past. I don't want to speak for Deputy Superintendent DeMora, but I did talk to him, and I think that he'll concur with it. It is a good operation. On the specific evening, just so that we want this board, not that we're arguing the merits of the matter at all, but would like the board to understand that what happened was understandable, but how the brewery has dealt with it, showing that it's not acceptable to them, and what the steps they've taken to correct it. Most importantly, when we first hear of these sting guidelines, we as attorneys sometimes get, was there entrapment, and there was none of that. This was a situation where the bartender, a long-standing employee, 11, 12-year employee of the brewery, was working on a Wednesday night. This group of young ladies had come in, sat down at a table, and he had asked them for their identification. They came up as a group to the bar, and they started to check IDs. Had gone through that, verified that all the girls were 21 years of age, and then started to ask the people. In the meantime, when he lifted up his head to look and asked the girl, she was one of the girls was the operative, who was standing next to this group of girls. She didn't blend in, she was just next to him, and he made a mistake. And when he said, what do you have? She said, I'll have a drink, and she left. And like I said, it was a mistake. She would have been served but for her leaving. Once the manager was notified of this, but the police department came in, his immediate reaction was that the bartender was relieved of his duties for that evening, and he was asked for his information, and he has since been terminated. Now, for them to take, this is how serious they took that. An 11-year employee of the brewery was terminated. As you can imagine, word spread very quickly amongst the rest of the employees that this is how serious they take these offenses. In addition to that, this past Monday evening, under the course offered by James Staples, who's a former Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission investigator, who offers courses not only to establishments, but to other agencies, police departments, offering a course in all different aspects of carding, identification, the proper identification, things to look for, tricks that people use to be served, and they just had mandatory training for everybody in there that serves. They employ about 45 or 50 people. They serve approximately, the estimates are about 35 to 40,000 people a year come through the doors over there. As infallible as they would like to be, they're not. They did make a mistake, and they do apologize for that. Again, they've taken severe corrective steps with terminating the employee and this updating everybody in tips. They have a history, a very good history. They have a history of cooperating with the police department. In fact, most recently, the Lowell Police Department had received some very good information that there was going to be some problems. They addressed it with the police department. They worked with the police department, brought in extra security, brought in extra police details for that specific incident. Fortunately, the incident was avoided because of, in part, of their cooperation. So, we'd be asking that in this particular instance, that the matter be dismissed with a valuable lesson learned by the Brewery Exchange Club.
What can the police department give us for?
Actually, Lieutenant Hodgins here, that she can verify the facts. I don't know if they're needed because it's clearly from the other side of the house that they admit to serving the person. A couple of things I always look at is when these incidents happen, especially in a large capacity location, is what has the organization done to prevent it from happening again? Is it something that we can live with? And at this point, I had the attorney actually called me to talk about this incident. That very seldom happens in this business. I usually come before you and we look at it. The attorney called me and I asked what the organization did to make sure it doesn't happen again, to tighten it up. He said what he just said a few minutes ago. So, you know, from the police department's point of view, it's a large capacity place that it employs a lot of employees. A lot of people go there every night. I'm not sure when the last violation was there that occurred. That was something that I looked at. I haven't got an answer to that, so I would ask maybe Ryan to brief the board on that.
Give us a history.
Well, just all I can think of for the moment is that last summer there was an incident where patrons were permitted to step outside to smoke a cigarette. And apparently at that time, one of the patrons threw a beer bottle or some type of container at a police cruiser going down Cabot Street. I think that led to some issues with the police obviously had an issue with the establishment and with the certain patrons that were standing out there. I think at that point, the manager had spoken to the board and said that situation would never take place again. There would be never, whatever corrective measures are taken, I'm not certain of, but I know that there was discontinuing that permission to go outside with a cigarette.
I think I recall that, right?
That is correct. Those were there was an incident, again, conduct of one individual, again, spoiling it for a lot of other people. This situation was immediately, okay, let's eliminate that, the ability for people to be on that area with any object that the bottles and things of that nature. So they did take immediate corrective steps. And again, that was a situation where what's going to work and what's going to work and what's the police department going to be satisfied with. I mean, they're just as concerned for the safety of their own people, the safety of the police officers that work there. They employ police details on a regular basis there and the public, the general public. So,
Now, let me ask you, earlier you addressed the recent class won by Mr. Staples from the,
yes,
formerly for the ABCC. Your client sent people to that or attended it?
Actually, they had it at the Brewery Exchange Club. Mr. Staples came in and conducted the class for any employee that serves or has anything to do with whether it be waitresses, bartenders. And again, this is a refresher part of the tips training. But in addition, Mr. Staples goes beyond that in his training. And the things that he does offer, those things are things of the identification, the cards, it's a booklet that he gives out with the proper IDs, what you can take, what is, and again, some of the things that his experience and other places are experiencing with what type of false identifications out there, some of the tricks. You know, one of the things that he presented was somebody who, for instance, walks by a table that has an empty beer or a half drink, drink that still has some remnants left over in it, and would walk up to the bar and say, "Let me have another one of these," giving the bartender the impression that one, the ID's been checked, has already been served, so that this is something that, okay, I don't have to do that now. And again, like I said, is that one of the biggest things of this is, as you can imagine, is that if you had been an employee, and most of the employees of the brewery are longtime employees who are professional in their field. They're not waitresses, or they're not college kids, they're not temporary people. These are people who, that is their career. That is what they do for a living, who spend, 10, this is, like I said, 11-year employee. Now, when all of a sudden this happened on a Wednesday and on a Friday night when the majority of the staff shows up and Jim is no longer at this bar where he had been a fixture for the past 11 years, you can imagine the effect that had on some of the other employees, like, wow. And given the circumstances, could have happened to anybody. And like I said, it wasn't a blatant disregard to just say, I don't care, I'm not going to check. He made a mistake.
And look, I've been down there and I've been carded, so I do know that you guys do card.
Well, you look very young, Mr. Commissioner.
All right.
I just think you have to be aware that because of the location of the brewery exchange, with the university being right there, there are going to be a lot of kids that are coming into town and trying to feel, push the boundaries of what's acceptable or not. And I think, I've been there too, and I do think you take the proper steps and to prevent underage drinking. And just remember that that you have a big responsibility because the university is right there, and there are a lot of underage kids that are going to push the boundaries and try to get in there. So keep taking those proper steps.
All right.
Thank you.
With that, I'll make a motion that we just place this on file for 6 months.
I'll second the motion.
All right, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just one thing, I know Lieutenant Hodgson is here, but just so that there's no misunderstanding, there was another complaint to be heard today, the Under Impact Pub, and that a request by Attorney Steve Panagiotakis came to the office, asking for continuance for February 21st, so, just in case that was...
I think this was left over from last week. Notice for Joyce Woods. I think this was probably left over from 2 meetings ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Okay. Now the commission will take up the matter of an application filed January 24th, 2008 by the Corporation Atlantic Collision Center, Inc., doing business as CarStar Atlantic Collision Center, Gary T. Blaisdell, President, for a used car dealer's license, Class 2, for premises at 1516 Middlesex Street, an open lot of 65 feet by 106 feet at the corner of Middlesex and West Aldea Streets, with office in the garage. Atlantic Collision Center was granted a Class 2 license on December 18, 2003, and license issued February 12, 2004 for the calendar year 2004. Atlantic also filed a renewal application December 30, 2004 for the calendar year 2005. Atlantic filed a renewal application January 6, 2006 for the calendar year 2006. However, Atlantic failed to file a renewal application for 2007, and so now the request is to have that license reinstated.
All right, for the record, please identify yourself.
Gary Blaisdell.
Just gotta give me a minute while I look through here. How many parking spots do you have in that location?
I don't have the number on hand. I think
Right.
Why didn't you renew it for the year 2007?
It was an oversight on our part. We generally had a policy in place that when the license came, when the renewal came to us, we would send it in. In that year, we didn't receive a license, or renewal for the license, so we didn't send it in.
So you were operating, but didn't
Yeah.
have a okay.
Yeah, we'll change that policy. We'll be, take the initiative to January 1st to make sure that that license is in place.
All right, how long have you been in the business?
In the auto body business and car business?
In the used car dealer business?
We've been dealing with cars for roughly 30 years, 28 years, something like that.
And you've held licenses as a used car dealer for that time?
We actually had a car license in Westford at our location there. We had 2 locations. And then when we had bought the Pelletier property, the dates listed here is when we renewed the license for that property here. So the license had been there for 30, I don't know how many years the Pelletier brothers had that license.
All right. Is there anything from the police department?
No, we haven't any issue with them.
Okay.
I see no problem with approving this license. Just make sure that you renew it for 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, I'll make the motion to go ahead with the same caveats that we can't have you operating without a license, okay?
Well, thank you very much. And like I say, we changed that policy, so we'll be proactive and look, January 1 each year that we have
Right.
that license.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
I never count on anything to come in the mail to renew, so,
Yeah.
I'll second your motion.
all right.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
Mr.
will we pick that up tomorrow or
Mr.
something?
Blaisdell, I'll just tell you, I'll have the license ready for you first thing in the morning, 9
Great.
o'clock, and the fee is $200 to the city of Lowell,
Okay.
okay?
All right. Again, thank you very much.
Oh. Commission will now open a hearing on an allegation that Esmlin Soren, doing business as ENB Auto Sales, a used car dealer licensee, Class 2, number 682-B, has stored junk motor vehicles on the premises at 18 Rock Street, and that the business is closed for the sale of secondhand motor vehicles. Commissioners, Mr. Soren has given the appearance to one of our city officials that he has vacated the premises at 18 Rock Street. And there are some pictures that were forwarded to the License Commission and to your attention, which at the last scheduled meeting, which we had January 24th, it was voted to have Mr. Soren appear before the License Commission to answer to the allegation.
All right, for the record, please state your name.
My name is Esmalin Soren.
Okay. And you're the holder of the Class 2 license that's in question here?
Yes, I do.
All right. What can you tell me? We got a report here that says it appears that the facility is abandoned and that the cars are sitting on there junked, and we didn't give you a license to run a junkyard.
Yeah. The reason that is because I've been getting out of the country. My wife lives in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and she's been sick, so I've been traveling almost every month. I got another job, but the place is clean now, and I'm willing to open regular hours again.
All right, if you're traveling and you're not, and you've got another job also, who's there when you're not?
My father,
Okay. And who's that?
Virgilio Soren.
Hmm?
His name is Virgilio. He's not here right now with me.
Mr. Soren, if I may just ask the question about How many vehicles do you have there now for sale?
10 vehicles.
7 vehicles?
No, 10.
10, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 10 vehicles.
And when did you get these 10 vehicles?
I got it on the body shops. Because
When did you acquire them?
They've been since last week.
Since last week.
Yeah. They've been sitting in the body shop, so I tried to have it ready all together and bring it here. Some of them, I bought it all complete without no damage.
Are there any junk cars on the property right
No.
now?
No, nothing at all.
So after you got this complaint, you went and got rid of them all?
Yes, I did.
And there's not going to be any more there?
No.
Because it doesn't look very good when you see these pictures here.
Yeah.
It's not a very good-looking sight to see junk
Right.
cars covered in snow with tires floating around. It doesn't
Yeah.
look good.
It's all clean right now. I'm so sorry about that.
I mean, look, my concern is this. You have neighbors. No matter what type of neighbors they are, whether they're residential or commercial, you have neighbors,
Yes.
all right? And if the place looks like a dump, it brings down everybody's business, and it brings down everybody's property values. And, I mean, to be honest, I don't see a need to grant a license to somebody who's gonna do that to the rest of the community. We're here to try and promote economic development inside of Lowell and watch out for everybody in the city at the same time. That's kind of the balance that we've got here. And if you're hurting the neighborhood, if you're hurting the community, we have an issue. So I'm very concerned about that. What are you gonna do to, if we don't revoke your license, how are you gonna, address these issues in the future?
No, I'm pretty sure that won't happen again.
Does the police department have any input or any position?
I think this is more of a zoning issue
Okay,
at this point, so I would leave it at that.
all right. Law department have any input? Okay,
No, we don't have anything.
all right. My inclination is to keep this matter open for 60 days for some follow-up inspections, and we'll see if this is corrected or if it becomes a recurring problem. If it becomes a recurring problem, I'd say we'll put it on for the first meeting of the month in April. And what's the date on that?
April 10th.
All right, we'll expect you back here on April 10th, but if we have any more problems between now and then, my inclination would be to just pull the license, shut the site down, and get somebody in there that's gonna be a good neighbor.
All right. I'm so sorry about that.
All right, we'll see you back here on,
What I'll do is I'll communicate with the zoning officer for the city of Lowell, Kathy Murphy, and I will send you a copy of the communication that the commission has this open for 60 days, and that at her convenience during her regular scheduled work, she can check on the lot, make sure everything is satisfactory. And if there are no negative reports, then I presume you would be clear of having to return to the License Commission.
All right.
I mean, we will see you back here one way or the other on the 10th to
Okay.
finish this. But I do want the zoning to go by and look at it. I want inspectional service to look at it. If it's gonna be a problem, if it's gonna be a blight on the neighborhood, I have no problem with closing you,
All right.
okay?
All right.
So I'll send you a communication to have you return on April the 10th.
All right, with the motion having been made for the continue it to the April 10th.
Second that.
All right, all in favor? Yes.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you back here on April 10th.
All right. Thank you.
Members of the commission, we also have 3 communications from the superintendent of police that were dated January 28th, in which a package store, M&B and Sons Liquors, Inc., formerly Belvedere Wine, at 36 Concord Street, Resendez Incorporated, doing business as Trainview Pub, a restaurant at 1018 Gorham Street, and S&S Liquors, doing business as the Whipple Cafe, a restaurant at 394 Lawrence Street, all of whom were allegedly had sold or served a person under the age of 21. These are matters that need to be scheduled for hearing. I know we have, as I mentioned earlier, the hearing that's been continued to February 21st. And for reason is, Solicitor Brian Leahy had mentioned is that sometimes counsel is retained by some of these licensees and they ask for extended continuance. So with that in mind, I thought of whether you would wish to have these hearings scheduled for, say, the March 13th meeting. It's up to you.
Let me ask, if we schedule them for March 13th, are we going to get requests in the first week of March for a continuance? Or should we just schedule them for the end of February and anticipate that we're going to get a request for a continuance?
The only, I think what's happened in the past is oftentimes the time, the number of days in which to, say, I have pretty much everything prepared in anticipation of just when the date would be. And sending out the notices, they could go out as early as tomorrow. Generally, one letter will go out by United States Postal Service first class. The second letter will go out by certified mail return receipt, also through the U.S. Postal Service. Upon receipt of that notice, would probably be, you would anticipate that we should have it in hand by the Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. The meeting follows Thursday, the 21st is the,
Okay.
it's just a question as to whether they would have sufficient time to.
Go ahead and schedule it for the March date then.
And then the one last point is that giving the notices that do get sent out include a note for them, and that is that they should notify the License Commission at least 4 days before the date of the hearing. So it's just that,
Okay.
sometimes it cuts it close.
Well, let's get them in here for March.
13th.
Okay.
And also, just for follow-up on a matter that was addressed last meeting on January 24th, the gentleman who was just before you regarding an entertainment permit had paid for his beer and wine license on January 29th. He received the communication from the License Commission office, and he acted forthwith.
Okay.
Lastly, we have a communication from Captain John Weber of the Fire Department, Fire Prevention Office, regarding several establishments that the Lowell Fire Department has had difficulty in completing their inspections. Only one of the report that I think needs possible immediate attention by the License Commission would be the business known as the Courtyard at 276-280 Central Street. According to the correspondence, Fire Department has made numerous attempts to inspect but have had no success. Apparently there has been communication made with the manager, Christopher Locapo, but he has not followed through on what the fire department would require to complete their assignment for satisfactory inspection. It may be something the board might want to send a communication.
Now, is it the fire department hasn't been able to get in and do the inspection, or is it just stuff that he's still got to follow up with?
That, it's not made clear. I did speak with someone in the office earlier this afternoon on this matter. Apparently, he has assured them that he was going to do certain things, and he didn't follow up on it. That's the understanding I received from the person I spoke with in the fire prevention office. And that says absolutely nothing for the sake of what the fire department needs to do.
Right.
We're talking about the certificate that's required annually now and to be signed by the fire department as well as the inspectional services. It's imperative that this matter should have been addressed last month, in December, I should say. And this is something that I don't know what the issue is. I know the building where the restaurant and bar is located had been sold sometime last year. The upper floors had a license for lodging house, which is not currently licensed as such. The new property owner, whether there is a big issue there with renovating the property in such a way that it would have suitable sprinkle system if it's non-existent. I'm not sure of that, so it's,
You know what, let's send him a communication and get him in here, you know, to address this, and let's have the fire department here at the same time.
as far as several of the other locations that the fire department had cited, 3 establishments were closed, and 2 are now working with the fire department in a satisfactory manner, so.
All right. As long as they're making progress there. All right. Anything else? All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is, at least to get it in so we can address them, you know. But, all right. Anything from Lowell Police? Anything from the city solicitor's office? No? Okay. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. We're coming home, Benjamin.
I will.